In this video, I'm going to show you how to put a brand new replacement blade in your SABR saw. Let's get into it. All right, so before we get into changing the blade on our SABR saw, we're going to need a couple things. First, a good clean work surface so you don't lose the small parts. That's important. And obviously we're going to need our replacement blade kit, a good sized flathead screwdriver, and then a pair of scissors to get the blade package open. All right, so let's get into it here. So we're going to set the saw aside and we're going to go ahead and open up our replacement blade package and get the parts out of there that we need. To do this, I would highly suggest just getting a pair of scissors. It's going to make getting this open a lot easier. All right, now that we got our replacement blade out of the package and our little bag of hardware, we're going to go ahead and open this up and get our pieces out. Now, there are some very small washers in here, so be very careful not to drop these on the floor because they are easy to lose. All right, so we've got our blade bolt here. These two bolts here are to hold the limb lock on, and then these four washers are also for the limb lock. So we're going to take our supplied Allen wrench and we're going to take these screws out of each side to remove the limb lock. Now, you don't have to use the supplied hardware. You could simply reinstall the old hardware, but this is just in case you've lost a piece or you would happen to lose one in the future, so you've got some extras. So I'm going to set these off to the side here. And just remember, these blades are super sharp, so be really careful. As you can see by the Band-Aid on my thumb, they will cut you. Okay, so the limb lock is going to pop off, and then you've got the black washers right there. So when you pull the limb lock off, you're going to have that. You're going to have two black washers that are flat. You're going to have two silver crush washers, and then your two screws that hold the limb lock on. So set all this off to the side, and we can reuse all that. Now that we've got our limb lock off, we can take the blade bolt out, and that's this bolt right here that has the slot in it for the flathead screwdriver. So I'm simply gonna take my flathead here, and loosen that up. Now it's got a little bit of Loctite on it, so it may be a little snug, but it's gonna pop right off of there. Now that I've got this side out, I'm going to take my Allen wrench and I'm going to push from this side and push the other end of that bolt out. I'm going to set those off to the side, and then the blade simply slides right out just like that. So I'm going to take the old blade here, set it to the side, and I'm going to take the new blade, simply slide it in. Now it helps to kind of hold it with your finger like that. I've got my thumb on the back of the saw to kind of brace it. For the sake of this video, I'm going to use the supplied hardware just to show you how it goes back together. So I'm going to take the female side of the blade bolt and I'm going to insert that into this hole right here, making sure that the blade and the bolt and everything lines up. So I'm going to go ahead and push this in as far as I can get it. Simply flip it over. We're going to put the other side back in. Take our flathead screwdriver. And we're going to snug this up. Now this doesn't have to be super tight. If you get it too tight, the blade is not going to move freely. So check the blade. See that it moves nice and smooth, that your lock is still functioning the way it should, which this one is. I'm actually going to tighten it just a little bit more. And again, check it before you put everything back together to make sure that it's correct. All right, so now we need to put our limb lock back on, and I'm going to go ahead and put my silver crush washers onto the supplied screws here. That way those are good to go. Now when you go to put your limb lock back on, you need to make sure that it's facing the correct way. So as you can see, the teeth are angled down this way. I want to flip it so they're actually angled up this way. I don't know if you can see it or not, but on the top, the teeth are flat. On the bottom, you've got the angle of the teeth down here. So you want to flip that over, and the flat part is going to go up on the back of the saw. And if you need a quick reference, just look at the back limb lock, and that's going to show you exactly how it goes on there. All right, so from here, I'm going to lay the black washer over that hole right there. And now I'm simply going to slide the limb lock over. Now it may be a little tricky getting this all lined up. But it's really not too hard. So I got this one started. I'm not going to tighten it all the way. I'm just going to get it started just like that. Now I'm going to flip the saw over. I'm going to slide that black washer carefully in there. Again, this can be a little bit tricky, but if you use your screw, you can actually line everything up. Now I've got it started. And now I'm going to tighten this down. Again, you don't want these super tight because you got to be able to move this. So I'm going to tighten them both just so they're snug. And I'm going to test this and make sure this works properly. I'm going to tighten it just a little bit more. You're only looking for about 10 inch-pounds of force on this, so it's not a whole lot. So there's the limb lock reinstalled. We've got the brand new blade in there, so we can go ahead and fold the saw up. And we are good to go. Brand new blade in your SABR saw. Super easy. So as you can see, with just a few simple steps, you can replace the blade in your SABR saw and you'll be back up and running in no time. Good luck this fall.